Second, he'll then proceed to remove the scab that on your skin, on that particular part, and then he'll start pouring salt all over it. I'm smiling or laughing because it's almost as if I could see him with a knife and a fork and using the seasoning, the seasoning and the salt to season the food. I am the food. I've been the food. It's always been like that. So the image makes me laugh. I hope you're laughing with me. You can laugh at me as well. That's okay. Third, then he observes me and my reaction as if I am a bug inside a jar. And that within itself is a narcissistic supply, because he feeds, as he observes me going through all of those emotions and reacting to them facially or bodily. He feeds. And what's disturbing is what I've watched not so long ago on YouTube on how psychopaths that were interviewed have came out to say, have admitted to being able to smell their victim. And the most powerful smell easily detected from them is, that they can easily detect is fear. But there are other range of emotions that they can feel too. And I mean, even those, they feed. So my husband feeds. But anyway, so those three things, those three examples I've just given really constitute one type of attack coming from a very covert narcissistic personality like my husband, which I think, quite frankly, is more sociopathic and psychopathic, minus the violence. But to refer to my title, which talks about the pearls, again, the results from this kind of attack, even if it, like I said, this is one I just described one type of attack, but it still is a multi-layered, covert kind of attack, and which gives him his much needed narcissistic supply. And that narcissistic supply, I call it emotional pearls, or pearls of humanity. Like I mentioned before, I've had to kind of give them an identity and color code them so that I can visualize them enough so that I can be proactive at holding on to them and protecting my life force, because those emotions are anybody's life force. It is important, it is vital. And in a relationship like I have with my husband, that is so enmeshed and intertwined with life responsibilities, love, and duty, how can one not respond to a seemingly innocently started amicable conversation. And yet, from the start of the conversation, and possibly even the day before, he had most probably already started to seduce me, and in an effort to lead me into that coming conversation so that he could feed. It's a whole manipulation from start to end that starts well before you physically participate in that conversation willingly, innocently, but willingly. And if you see it in that light, I have to agree with that other lady on her channel, which I think is Narcissist Happens. It's total mind rape and emotional rape, premeditated and with intent. So one thing to remember in this kind of scenario, this kind of situation, or for anybody watching me who has a covert abuser like mine, is that not to allow him to seduce you. Find a way not to allow him to seduce you, to let your guard down. And don't allow him to manipulate you in down memory lane. Even though memory lane sometimes is nice, but don't go there. Because the minute you do that, the wolf will feed, because you have to understand that to him, being able to seduce you and manipulate you into that conversation is a major victory win for him. And this basically means that he wins, but I don't like to say win, it's more like he feeds, but you, the target, you lose an emotional pearl. Second, when the wolf goes on to open that scab, remove the scab from that tiny little wound, or even a scrape, I should say scrape in my case, because that's mainly what they were. They were not real wounds, they were just scrapes. So the minute he removes those scabs, or even if it is a big wound, and is able to pour salt in that in your skin where the crack is, and there's no resistance from the target, the wolf feeds. Because for that kind of person, how can he resist the rush? How can he resist feeling the rush of power over his domination on the target? That kind of personality, that must be a real fantastic feeling, which means he gets to feed and you lose another pearl. You, the target, lose another pearl. Now, thirdly, if you are a sharp cookie, you mentally, you don't let that kind of nonsense happen to you.